We're going to talk about something pretty powerful today. It's this one simple psychological shift you can make that literally causes toxic people to just fade away from your life. And now, this isn't about some big dramatic confrontation. It's actually way smarter than that. It's about changing the game itself.
Have you ever noticed this? It's so frustrating. You're nice, you're patient, you explain yourself over and over, and you get absolutely nowhere. But then, the one time you finally put your foot down, everything changes. All of a sudden, you have their respect. What is that all about? Why does it work that way?
See, you don't need to learn a million different tricks or completely change who you are. The real power is in just one single fundamental shift in how you handle things. And let's be clear, this isn't some kind of magic trick or wishful thinking. Nope, it's all based on solid, proven psychology. And once you get how it works, well, that's when you get the keys to the kingdom. All right, so let's dive into the psychology of it. We're on the hunt for that tipping point, that exact moment where the control shifts, and it comes right back to you. So we're going to break this all down into 5 super practical strategies. Think of them like tools for your toolkit. Each one is designed to help you get your energy back and actually enforce your boundaries, not by fighting, but by simply changing how you respond. Okay, so the first couple of strategies are all about your internal game. It's about what's going on inside you. We're going to focus on what you need to stop giving away for free, starting with the biggest, most common trap that almost everyone falls into. Okay, this first one, it is absolutely huge. It's the habit of over-explaining yourself. Constantly justifying your decisions, your feelings, why you said no. We think we're doing it to keep the peace, right? But it actually does the exact opposite.
And there's actually a psychological term for this. It's called self-justification fatigue. Think about it. Every single time you over-explain, you're sending a hidden message. You're basically saying, you have the right to question me, to approve my choices. You are literally handing over your power. The moment you stop, poof, their leverage is gone.
And that leads perfectly into our second strategy, which is all about not reacting emotionally. Toxic people, they're experts at pushing your buttons. Why? Because getting a big emotional reaction out of you, that's their prize. That's the whole point. So check this out. There's a reason this is so effective, and it's called intermittent reinforcement. It's the exact same principle that makes slot machines in Vegas so addictive. They pull the lever, they don't always win, but every now and then, jackpot, they get that big emotional reaction from you. When you stop paying out, when you stay calm and neutral, you break the cycle. They'll just get bored and go look for another slot machine to play. Okay, so once you've started to get a handle on your internal world, it's time to work on the outside. This brings us to our next set of strategies, starting with number 3, which is all about creating a really clear, simple structure in your relationships.
And the key here is not to build this giant, complicated wall with 100 different rules. Who has the energy for that? No, the real power, the most effective boundary, comes from focusing on just one single thing.
But here's the thing. Psychology has proven over and over, people respect consistency way more than they respect intensity. One simple boundary that you calmly enforce every single time is 1,000 times more powerful than a list of 10 rules you sometimes forget about. Just pick one, hold the line, and then just watch what happens. This flows right into strategy number 4, which is simply to become less available. Now, this is not about playing games. This isn't giving someone the cold shoulder or the silent treatment. This is a strategic move. It's about deciding where you're going to invest your most precious resource, your time and your energy. And this is backed by another core principle in psychology called behavioral extinction. It's super simple. If a behavior stops getting a reward, it eventually just fades away. For someone who lives on drama, your 24/7 access is the reward. When you reduce that access, you're literally starving the drama. You stop feeding the fire. So let's just break that down. Before, you were constantly available, which was basically rewarding all the drama. Now, you shift to being strategically unavailable. And what's the result? Behavioral extinction. The drama withers on the vine because you've simply stopped watering it. Which brings us to our 5th and final strategy. And honestly, this might be the most powerful one of them all. So many of us are taught that silence is passive, that it's a weakness. But in this situation, it is an absolute superpower. Now, we're not talking about an angry, resentful silence. This isn't about punishing someone. It's a calm, intentional choice. It's you deciding that some things, some arguments, some provocations, they just don't even deserve a response from you. In psychology, they call this a detachment response. Your silence sends a signal that is louder than any words you could ever say. It says, your chaos, it can't live here anymore. Your drama doesn't affect me. And oh man, toxic people hate this. It completely robs them of their power and makes them look in the mirror and face their own stuff.
So when you put all these pieces together, when you stop over-explaining, you control your reactions, you hold that one clear boundary, you become less available, and you use silence as a tool, you literally create an entirely new reality for yourself.
So after all that, what's the one crucial point to take away from this entire thing? If you remember nothing else, remember this idea. It completely reframes how you see this whole process.
Just let that sink in for a second. This is not about losing people. It's about your own evolution. You aren't losing anything. They are losing access to the version of you they could easily control. The you that was easy to manipulate, the you that was easy to guilt trip. That person is gone.
And that brings us to the final and most important question, a question for you. By putting even just one of these strategies into play, you start introducing a brand new version of yourself to the world. A version that's stronger, calmer, and way more in control. So the only question left is, what version of you are they going to meet tomorrow?